cracker. Young Kevin Grogan, fresh from a win at Kyrgyzstan, starts on pole position in the Avanti Sport Run Lucan Law sponsored car. Alongside him in the Angle Music car is Dan Polly. That's the Luke O'Hara Run Shane. Then it's class returnee Dave Kelly in the Shane. Alongside him it's David O'Brien. And then it's Ray Moore. Watch out for Ray Moore. He won't stay back there for too long.
He won't be back that far. Just Costello beside him.
Stephen Moran, Jimmy Furlong, Colin Blackburn, Anthony Cross, Des Foley, watch out for him, he's well back. Gavin Buckley, Paula Moore, Shane McBride and Brendan O'Brien, they're getting ready to go. And Pullman makes a great start, but O'Brien from the second row of the grid with an absolute cracker in the blue Shane. But Grogan has it covered and leads them down into turn one. Is that Moore on the outside already, Matt?
Yes, it is, but he's fourth, and O'Brien is up to second, but joint second. And I think that Dan Polly has the inside line for the left-hander and slots himself back into his grid position of second, being followed there by David O'Brien, and then Ray Moore is fourth with David Kelly running in fifth.
Yeah, Moore very much a danger man. Adam McCauley not out today. He was at Kyrgyzstan all right. He was right in the middle of it. In fact, Grogan just about pipped him to the line after an absolutely cracking race. Look at this wonderful grid of Irish Formula V's streaming through. There's Dan Polly, it is number 3 in the Luke O'Hara run car. Then it's O'Brien, then it's Moore under pressure from Kelly, who wants that place back from Moore. He lost out in the first corner. Shamazel, then it's Costello and Des Foley, I think, next up.
Well, a rather tame opening lap, or the best part of an opening lap, but trust me, that's not going to last terribly long, because we've got Ray Moore running there in fourth, and he's not going to be happy to settle for that for too much longer. He's going to make a move. Already he's closing up behind Dave O'Brien, and he doesn't want to lose too much gap to the front runners Kevin Grogan and Dan Polly. And as I said, it's Ray Moore himself under pressure there from David Kelly, making a move on him.
Some other quick runners in there as well. Quick guys include Jimmy Furlong back in the pack. Hey, Polly now with a bit of pace, and Dan Polly struggled over the last few years. Let's make no bones of it, but don't forget how quick he is. He won the Leinster Trophy in a Formula V a few years ago in a straight fight with Ray Moore. He hasn't had his head maybe hasn't been in the right place, or he hasn't been confident in his own equipment. But on his day, Matt, he is absolutely stunningly quick, and I have a feeling this
his day.
This could be one of those days, because Dan Polly is really, really quick when he's on form. And I don't know if there's anyone that can put it up to him, but he's just driven away from David O'Brien and hauled in young Kevin Grogan in this one now.
Yeah, these two have made that little break, but then there's a whole gaggle of cars behind them which haven't made any breaks. But the front two certainly beginning to get away, with Kevin Grogan leading then from Dan Polly. Now Ray Moore makes a move there on Dave O'Brien. But Dave O'Brien is a very wily campaigner, and he'll be aware of that. This is probably what's playing into the hands of the front two, because O'Brien's got to watch his mirrors for Ray Moore. Ray Moore can overtake where there is no overtaking. He goes for the outside line down at turn 3. Now he flicks back to the inside, but O'Brien has that one covered, and he's well aware of Ray Moore challenging from the rear.
Yeah, then it's Kelly and Costello next up, but as you said, this is where the battle is, down at the Sayet corner. And Moore just moving around in the sinister black Leystone chassis, letting him know who's there. Moore, a multiple champion in the UK and Ireland in Formula V, and he knows, a bit like Brian Hartley in Formula Shane, he knows all the moves, man.
Oh, he does. He knows moves nobody even knows yet, and he ducked out there. Did have to back out of it in the end, but he almost got through. And again, he's been allowing Dave O'Brien to get complacent there and just race the racing line up into the final corner, and then Moore just ducks to the inside. Now can he live around the outside? No, he can't. O'Brien has that one covered. But right there with them then is David Kelly, and he could be the benefactor if there was any little tussle between these two ahead of him. Yes. That really is the race.
First two beginning to get away. It looked like Grogan was inching away there, but Polly's closed it back up again, so there's not much in it between those two. And Moore looked very, very quick, but again, he's got the experienced Dave O'Brien ahead of him, and he's not going to get by too easily, I don't think, as they come up out of turn 3. O'Brien by no means slow, in fact he's pulling a length there, but Moore gets it back in a straight line and brings Kelly with him as they come down into Sayet corner. So I wonder, was that a fluff gear change, or around he goes. Oh, and Dick Leader is gone as well. Grogan gone too. There must be a little bit of oil down there.
There must be oil there.
That means Polly is now leading this one up front, number 2. There's Polly all on his own in front, and Moore sticks it down the inside. Moore in second place, Kelly in third place, Costello next up, then Jimmy Furlong. So I wonder, can Moore hang on, or can Polly hang on out front in this one?
Well, that was incredible, Leo. It had gone slightly pedestrian for those few laps, but then all of a sudden, bingo, and it all kicks off.
Yeah,
And just watch at David Kelly now, the move he's putting on. Ray Moore up ahead of him. Ray Moore coming under all sorts of pressure from Kelly. Kelly, will he try to move down the inside, down to turn 3?
Oh, Kelly was busy waving at Ray Moore and nearly threw it off. He was doing the Team America signal there with the 2 hands, I think, on the way down to turn 3, and it nearly all went wrong. You need to leave 1 hand on the steering wheel when you're giving signals. I think that was one of those futile signals that drivers do, going, keep going, I won't challenge you, all in 1 hand move, and we catch the leader. But Moore won't have even been looking at that, and Kelly nearly threw it off there down at turn 3.
Justin Costello then right behind him.
Yeah, vastly improved Justin Costello in the centre car. Great to see him going so well. And right with him is Jimmy Furlong, another real seasoned campaigner. They're now attacking Kelly, and that's going to let Ray Moore get away. And it's going to be Moore versus Polly, and make no mistake, these two are not best friends, Matt. So this could be very good.
That's going to be a great battle. If Moore can get up in terms with Dan Polly, it's going to be game on. Great race this, all the same. But David Kelly then still defending that 3rd place from resurgent Costello. Bit of a gap opening up back to Moore then.
Great stuff from Costello here, moving around behind Kelly. He really has come on in leaps and bounds. The 2 red Leastones together. I think that's the local man, Stephen Moran, battling with Des Foley in the works car. So a good battle between those 2.
Still David Kelly though, holding on to that 3rd place, slightly rearranged front nose. He did have a dab at the back end, and that damaged his nose cone ever so slightly. It's just a dent on it, but it's still there.
Kelly gets it turned in. Who's that up the outside? Is it Des Foley?
That's Des Foley, I think.
Oh, I think it's Moran actually. Foley at the back.
Well, they're all red. There are 4 red ones there. That's very difficult to pick. 3 white helmets and 1 black one. Let's see if we can get the number as he goes by. That's Stephen Martin, I thought. On the inside, it's 21.
Oh, that's Foley right in 2nd place in that group. Then it's Furlong. Then it's Moran. Moran at the black helmet at the back, trying to get alongside Furlong now. But Foley's the one that's made the progress up through this group again. He's very impressive, Des Foley. We've seen him from the start of the year in this car, and getting great support from Paul Heavey, of course, on the Leastone team, the Works Leastone squad. And the one thing you need in that, you need to be able to drive, but you need a thick skin as well, because with the likes of Paul Heavey and Craig Elliott knocking around, the slagging is mighty in that camp. But look at that, round the outside there, and he's really already almost having to go. There's a little bit of oil, I feel, there, and there's a little bit of grip perhaps offline, and now it's game on up the front, because Ray Moore has caught Dan Polly somehow out of our view from way back. He has caught Dan Polly, and the battle is now on for the lead.
Well, Leo, there was a huge gap there, and Moore goes to the outside. Polly defends the inside, and Moore just able to drive by him. Did you see that? Just drove by him. Like, Moore has phenomenal pace in that car in the straight line.
Well, I say
really is awesome.
Might be a problem for Dan Polly, because that looked like literally put on a mirror signal manoeuvre there.
It did, yeah. It was incredible. He just drove
Polly's shaking his head from left to right, slowing down.
He's slowing down.
There's a problem for that car, Matt, unfortunately, and I think Polly looked like he had that one in the bag early on. But of all people to pass him, he really will. He won't be happy about that one at all. Dan. Oh, somebody locking up and going off. I think that's Moran, the local man, Stephen Moran. Can he keep it going through the gravel? I think he probably can.
Just
the
about.
SM racing car.
Great
Another big family effort there. All the Morans down here, Christy and Michelle and the whole family gets huge support. They work really hard on this. Gets back on track just as Anthony Cross arrives and Paula Moore. He's just landed right into the middle of a hectic battle, and Paula Moore with a nice move down the inside.
It's in the
puts
family.
Cross away there, and that's Kevin Grogan at the back of that group as well, the early leader. So he'll surely be coming up through them like a hot knife through butter. Is that Dave O'Brien as well, possibly?
So there's quite a midfield gaggle there, Leo.
There is great battles going on. That's Paula Moore. There's Anthony Cross. That's the Honda Auto car, Brendan O'Brien. Grogan down the outside. Him O'Brien goes back at him, but Grogan just chops the nose off him. Is that Costello gone around?
That is Justin Costello there. Managed to get back out.
Gathers it up, but Moran just blasts by him. Paula Moore will be looking to go by him as well at turn 3. And this is this is Des Foley again. Is it on a charge? Indeed it is, and he's all over the back of Kelly now. This is great stuff from Foley, Matt, as they go around Irish Ferry's corner. Well,
I'm glad that we rode with that one for a moment. Here they come again towards us. This is one worth watching. Kelly having to defend heavily now as he goes around the outside.
Great stuff from Des Foley. Just gets the car set up on the brakes, and big pressure there for Kelly. And this is for third place. And if Polly's problems get any worse, Matt, it could become for second place, because Polly's definitely going a little bit slower.
He's going a little bit slower, but he's still managing to maintain that gap. When you consider how easily Ray Moore drove by him, I thought he was definitely a gunner, and he looks to be able to maintain the gap all the same from these boys tussling behind him for that third place. David Kelly then.
Well, Foley now battling for third place, having started 13th on the grid, so he may even get a pat in the back for the least on camp if he keeps this one up, Matt. But wouldn't a podium in an A race be great?
Don't get too excited now. You wouldn't be, they wouldn't be getting too excited like that, Leo.
They're having a real go now, Des Foley, still with the novice symbol on the back. That yellow and black X shows that he hasn't done 6 races yet in his motor racing career. You have to get 6 signatures for 6 finishes, and you get rid of that on the back of your car. So not often we see a novice running in third place in an A race or fourth place in an A race in Formula V.
And the standard of driving that we're seeing from Des Foley. It's absolutely superb.
Kelly perhaps beginning to inch away this lap from.
Yeah, just getting a little bit of respite there. Only closes again though.
Nice run through turn 2 again, closing in on Kelly again, definitely now as they head out towards the double apex right hand turn 3.
As we said, there's parts of the circuit where some of these cars are faster than others, so depending on your setup of that, the gap can open, but it can close in once you get into the sweet spot for your car.
Sideways moment for Kelly there as he flicks it in, an armful of opposite lock. But these two both trying very, very hard clearly at the moment. Battle for the final podium position.
Working hard to go and talk to Fergus.
That's it. It looks like Colin Blackburn perhaps next up. Oh, again, very sideways. A little bit oversteery, but Kelly well able to hold on to it there as they come out of the final bend. That's third gear corner in these cars. Remember, you started second gear, Matt. You just used third and fourth in these Formula Vs. Oh, big last minute move for Foley down the inside. A cracking manoeuvre again from Des Foley.
Whoa.
And this man is impressing me more and more, Matt.
That was
last
incredible.
minute down the inside.
And you know what he did? He backed out. Fellas that are trying to overtake in every corner, you can defend. You know what he's going to do. This way, he had sucked David Kelly in. Kelly thought, I'm home and hosed here. And all of a sudden, laid on the brakes, down the inside. In fact, he stayed back far enough that Kelly thought he could stay out wide and just take his racing line into that corner. Instead of that, laid on the brakes, up the inside. Thank you very much, sir. I'll have that.
Great move and load of commitment. By the end of it, it was like I'm coming through, make your own arrangements there. But instinctive racecraft from Des Foley, and we love to see that here. But Kelly's not going to hand this one away, and he fires it down the inside. He has got him. Foley going to try for the switchback. He does get it back. This is great racing between these two guys. Matt, for some reason, it must be the sunshine. We're getting the best racing in a long time at Mondello Park today.
Every race is superb, and Foley has retaken it there. He had that little bit extra in hand on the straight. Now let him out wide. Just keep the line nice and tight there now between himself and David Kelly. But again, Dan Polly, although he was really beaten fair and square by Ray Moore for the lead of this race, but Dan Polly's not falling into the clutches of these two. There he is up the road, quite a gap still between himself and Des Foley, and Des Foley in turn under all sorts of pressure from David Kelly, who's not happy to give up that last step on the podium.
Well, I don't know who MGB associates are, but they sponsored the right man here today. This guy is the only novice in the class this year, I think. The only raw novice in the class, and he's doing absolutely superbly. He looks like he's heading, well, possibly for a podium in an A race at Mondello Park, and those two leaders are not far ahead. Moore's just balancing the gap, but Dan Polly not too far ahead of them, Matt.
I think there's one further lap to run after this one, Leo. In fact, there are two. There'll be this lap and a further lap, so still plenty to go in this race. Oh, and Kelly there locks up. He thought to leave the brakes late, but locked up to avoid smacking into the back end of Des Foley's car. But really, there wasn't a lot about that. He just got himself the wrong position on the track, just left the brakes too late, found it when it was time to arrive. Des Foley was sitting there.
Well, Matt, the timekeepers have slid the timesheets in under the door for us. That's like the joke, but the doctor used to say to the fella, we'll have to put you on a diet of sliced cheese and cream crackers. And he said, why is that? It's all we can fit under the door. He says it's highly contagious. But anyway, back to Formula V racing. And Des Foley impressing everybody here at Mondello Park today. He said, Kelly doing nicely as well. And Kelly's car just a little bit taily, and I bet you he's thinking, if I could just soften the back off 2 clicks here, I could have him, because it's just a little bit too taily, and he's holding on to it nicely. But these two having a great scrap. Polly still hanging on there in second place. Got to be a problem with that car in a straight line, Matt, because Moore, that wasn't even a toe. Kelly all locked up. Will he get it turned in?
He did. I'd say he's flat spotted the tyre though after that. That was some braking manoeuvre.
Well, we know where he learned that move. That was take it out of that. Have some of your own medicine there, Des. Great stuff between these two guys.
He tried it in the previous lap and got it wrong, and he just had the lock-up with no benefits, but he's had the lock-up and the benefits this time. They're on their last lap, so the checker flag will be prepared this time around. So what can Des Foley do now? Will he win the run to the line? This could be, he's still in with a chance on this one.
Two cars are quite equally matched, Matt. He's going to have to pull something off. He's not going to do it in a drag race to the line, and Kelly quite experienced. Getting away there.
Getting away a bit now, right at the end.
This is it. Look at Polly's close back in and more, but that'll be just more slowing down to annoy him, perhaps.
Take it nice and handy. The checker flag should be coming out. Checker flag is out. Ray Moore takes the win. Dan Polly home in second. David Kelly, I think, was going to come into shot at third. And spare a thought for Des Foley right at the end, getting caught out there and had to settle for fourth. But a tremendous drive and a tremendous piece of racecraft from all of these guys.
Yeah, no, great stuff from both of those guys, from Dave Kelly and the slightly oversteering Shane, and the opportunistic Des Foley from 13th on the grid to just miss out on a podium position in a Formula V A race. So that's not a
bad place to be.
So great battle still finishing off here. This one is just coming down to us, and it's Brendan O'Brien in the Honda Autocar car just hanging on ahead of James Jones there crossing the line. So great battles and championship points for all these guys. Shane McBride too, the Dundalk driver, just ahead of Gavin Buckley as he comes across the line. So really good stuff from Irish Formula V. If you want to have a look at that class, formulav.ie is their website. They'll always welcome new drivers, and there are some cars available very cheaply. The racing, as you can see, is absolutely fantastic. So Des Foley, what about that? Great stuff from him. He really has impressed us since the first time he climbed into a Formula V, and remember, his background is as a gamer. So really good stuff. I'm sure Paul Heavey and crew will be happy with that. Des perhaps not so much. He takes his racing quite seriously, and he would have liked to hang on to that third position in the Works Leastone car. But I think Des probably a name that the front runners will get to know in Irish Formula V this year.